Located on 225 acres in Garden City, Long Island, Nassau Community College, a member of the State University of New York system, has close to 20,000 students attend the school each year. The college mascot is Leo the Lion, and these are his stories of the school's absolute best and brightest who have graduated over the past 50-plus years. Let's catch up together as the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College proudly presents Lion Tales, a Nassau Community College Foundation production on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Lion Tales, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Aurora Workman. I am president of the Nassau Community College Alumni Association. I am here with my friend and co-host, Dr. Lynnda Nadien, a proud graduate of Nassau Community College, and together we'll share stories that will inspire, uplift, and often amuse you.
Each week, Aurora and I will introduce you to alumni of Nassau Community College interested in sharing their experience here at Nassau Community College, along with the secrets to their success.
The Alumni Association is looking for fundraiser hosts to present programs to attract alumni to participating events that raise scholarship funds. So please contact us at www.ncc.edu alumni.
Look for many new and exciting events on the Alumni Association social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and our web pages at www.nassaucommunitycollege.edu/alumni. If you, our listening audience, has any positive news you would like to share about Nassau Community College alumni, engagements, births, graduations, weddings, and/or accolades, email us at alumni@nassaucommunitycollege.edu and we will shout you out.
Today's guest is Donald Parler, Jr., a certified professional coach and also certified in neurodesign engineering and attraction and a proud alum of Nassau Community College. Welcome to Lion Tales, Donald. You don't mind, Don?
Welcome.
Class of 1999?
And you partied like it's 1999.
I know. Didn't we party like it's 1999 back then?
Yeah.
So, like, you have so many careers now, but you've had a journey to where you are. And we're going to talk about that because when I first was talking to Don and I kept on thinking and seeing, a drive, I said, he's just such a motivating force. And then I found out he's a motivator.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk to you about that and some other things that our listeners will like to know. But the first thing, tell us about studying engineering. Did you do that here or?
I did that at Queensboro Community College. And after doing that was a while back. That was like in 92 that I did that. And after doing that, I started wondering, was engineering really for me? Once I got to like calculus 0 to infinity, I was like, do I want to continue this?
What?
and then I had to take a pause for a moment, and I entered the workforce. And after entering the workforce, that's when I came across the Nassau Community College.
Great.
Wonderful.
And then that's when I took some business courses here at Nassau Community College for the
just so you know it.
And
did you have an idea of why you were taking business classes, or
it was part of my work that I was doing here. I was working in the banking industry, and I needed to take some courses, and I came over to Nassau Community College to take some. I had the honor of attending.
And then what was the first class that you were able to take at Nassau? Do you remember what the first one was?
I think it was something with Microsoft Business or something like that. It was a while ago.
Because you talked about starting school and stopping school. How many times did you do that?
I did it a few times, and I think it was because I was on a search. I was on a search trying to figure out exactly what my passions were, and I was taking various courses. So, and that's how I ended up doing what I do now.
Well, that's one of the things that we always ask, and we want students and our listeners to hear that, you don't always have to get it right the first time.
Right.
And that's why a lot of our guests, and then some of them will tell them, okay, well, I started, then I came back years later, or I started, stopped, went to this place. They were nomads of the universities.
Right.
Trying to see where they fit in. So, so Nassau is a great place to start and begin. So let's talk about the work that you are doing now. Let's talk talk about let's not talk about the coaching work first. Let's talk about the W-2 job.
Yeah.
The W-2 job.
The job that gives you the W-2.
The federal government.
Transportation.
Yeah.
I'm a train operator at JFK Air Train.
Nice.
And I've been there. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I've been there for 16 years.
Wow.
Well, that's great.
Is that like that the monorail?
Yes, the rail.
Yes.
It's been there 16 years
Yes,
before? I remember seeing that built.
Yeah, I know that
Oh
it's
my
been there for a
gosh.
while because my son is 18 and we were on there when he was like 3.
Oh, okay.
And we were meeting someone in the airport, not even going away anywhere. And we,
Yes.
we took him with the big stroller on the train.
16 years. That's
really amazing.
Wow. That's really wow.
And it's been great because I got a chance to meet people from all over the world from, many different countries.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I love the airport because it's just a lot happening at the airport.
it is.
Yeah.
It's like a city in itself. 50,000 employees there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So from your days at NASA being here, how well did NASA prepare you to be the meet and greet?
Nassau prepared me great because when I was here taking business, that put me in a great position to get my employment that I currently have now. Mm-hmm. And it also helped kind of put me in focus to be a self-made business person myself.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's important.
It does encourage, a lot of times our studies here does encourage an entrepreneurial spirit because every single person who has sat here has talked about what they're doing, their other thing, and their other job. And that's why I had sat there and stated with the W-2 job because we all have like 3 different jobs that we do. And NASA has encouraged your own independence, and having and put forth some skills that you may not have known that you had.
Yes, absolutely.
Until you went through the course of deciding that, okay, I'm going to be successful here,
And we all love the jobs that we're doing that we don't get paid for. and then you wish, wow, I could make a little bit of cash on the side with this. But we've had many guests who say the same thing, that it set them up for that success to do those little things on the side that they love so much.
Look, what are the courses that you probably remember that really enlightened you and you were like, wow, I should have, embraced this earlier?
Well, Microsoft back in the late 90s, Microsoft was really popular during that time. So it was a lot of Microsoft courses that prepared you for the business place. So that's where I got that background here.
Yeah, I remember taking, the keyboarding class and the it was more like the IBM stuff where you had to like put the reel onto the computer-based thing, and it was very primitive. It was like Star Trek.
There how we moved up.
It was very Star Trek-y.
You're listening to Lion Tales on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I am Aurora Workman, along with Dr. Lynnda Nadien, and our guest today is Donald Parler, Jr., a certified professional coach and also certified in Neuro Design Engineering and Attraction, and a proud alum of Nassau Community College. So we were talking
about you being a certified professional coach.
Love it. It's my passion. First love is coaching and music. Those are my 2 passions.
Great passions. And so, what can you tell us about being a coach? How do you interact with people?
Can I tell you a little bit how I got started coaching?
Yeah.
What happened while I was working at the airport? I became a little bit unfulfilled. So I was like, is there something else out there for me? I began to ask myself those questions. So after asking myself those questions, I went to see a professional coach myself, and that's how I got in the coaching industry. After I sat with him, he asked me a series of questions that I hadn't been asked in years, about my childhood, about my background, about my family members, about me. Mm-hmm. And then after answering those series of questions, I was like, man, I fell in love with the idea of helping someone evolve, grow, and become better at whatever their desires of their hearts are.
Yeah. Do you find that sort of like a spiritual advisor, or it doesn't have to go that deep?
It really doesn't have to go that deep. Yeah. It's kind of finding like what makes you tick. What do you really love, what you really enjoy. A lot of people don't know their passions, believe it or not.
Yeah. And then were there questions about yourself that you probably couldn't answer at that minute, but maybe now as time goes on? Like, what's something that you know, when you feel that deep down yearning to do something, and do you do it or do you not?
Absolutely.
Can that ever really be answered, or you hold back, or you're still waiting? You
could take some time.
Yeah.
I would take a moment. Like you said, some questions just can't be answered right away. You have to say, you know what, give me a day or so. Let me think about it, and then I'll come back with the answer. Then you could get the answer from your subconscious rather than just like thinking off of the top of your head.
Right.
Yeah.
What are some of the characteristics that you feel makes a really good professional coach? Which ones do you possess?
I would say asking the right questions. Kind of like really listening and reading between the lines, so you can ask the questions that are helpful to that person.
Such as,
what are your passions? That would be like the first thing I ask a lot of people, because a lot of people, they say that 78% of people that are working in America are unhappy.
Right, because they're working in just a job. They're not working in their passions.
Exactly. And that's why I have 78% of Americans that I can talk with. So that's a lot of people.
That is a lot. You know, you see on the road in the morning driving to work, and you look over and see people, and you're just wondering, what are they really thinking? And how much longer can I do this? And you know, where do I go from here?
Yeah, so when you went and saw a professional coach, you're sitting there, you're unfulfilled. How did you know to look for a professional coach?
Let me tell you how I found out. His name is Chris Howard. He has a Legendary Living Academy or school, great, and Chris Howard training. I was listening to the radio one day, and I happened to tune into a station, and I heard him talking, and he was saying some great things, and he was having a weekend seminar. So I was like, okay, let me go and check out this weekend seminar. And then after going to that weekend seminar and asking a series of questions and doing different exercises, I came out of there empowered. And I was like, okay, I've like reestablished my groove. I've reestablished who I was. It wasn't like I was getting coached or talked to by parents, by friends, by co-workers, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. I learned from myself by answering the questions myself.
Right. Wow. And you answer that question, what is your passion?
Absolutely.
So if you were, you know, with students now, and we always get that, you know, assessment, let's see what career matches you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know that?
You know, what is that assessment?
That assessment, like what, you know, here, after you finish taking these 60 questions,
we'll tell you
you'll
about
know what your life direction should be. Okay. And I always thought, wow, really? You'll know what your life's direction? So how beneficial is it for a student to seek out a professional coach?
It's amazingly, it's just vital. To me, it's vital. Because had I known these things before I started school, I mean, I would have took a totally different direction in school, in my studies.
Right. And you think a coach and a mentor are the same thing, or it's different?
Different. Yeah. Definitely different.
Because I think that's where people sort of have confusion between what would a mentor do for children and what would a coach do for a child or for an adult, a young adult. Or then even when you're in adulthood, do you really need a mentor anymore, or is it someone to push you, the coach?
Absolutely. I would say you need both, because the mentoring's needed and coaching's needed.
Yeah.
Mentoring, you know, it helps, like, keeps you on the path, keeps you focused, keeps you goal oriented. A coach can do the same thing, but a coach asks more in-depth questions to get you on and figure out definitely.
You are listening to Lion Tales. Today's guest, Don Parler Jr., is a certified professional coach and also certified in neurodesign, engineering, and attraction, and a proud alum of Nassau Community College. My name is Lynnda Nadien, along with Aurora Workman, on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
I'm a college student and could use advice about my student loan.
I had to leave school and go to work. Now I have to pay back student loans for a degree I don't have. Fortunately, I found assistance.
Back in college, I figured they wouldn't lend me more than I could easily pay back. Boy, was I wrong. Thankfully, I got the help I needed to pay back my loan in full.
Sound familiar? The good news is that student loan repayment options are available. We're the NFCC, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, a nonprofit organization with member offices nationwide that provide comprehensive financial reviews and student loan counseling. NFCC certified consumer credit counselors provide one-on-one financial counseling and can help you evaluate options for making student loan payments, reducing interest, debt consolidation, or even loan rehabilitation. Call 877-406-6322 or visit us online at studentloanhelp.org.
Welcome back to Lion Tales, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Dr. Lynnda Nadien, along with Aurora Workman, and our guest today is Donald Parler Jr., and we're getting back to the show. And he's certified in neurodesign engineering and attraction and a graduate of Nassau Community College. So we're talking a little bit about being certified in the neurodesign engineering phase that you had committed to. And can you just tell us a little bit about that title, neurodesign engineering and attraction?
Yes, I'll be glad to. Neurodesign engineering can be a little scary for some folks because it's dealing with the brain and what's going on in the brain, but it's basically that thing, hypnosis. So and a lot of people think it's like, when you're hypnotized, you go to this person, they have you hopping on one leg, patting yourself on the head.
Somebody snaps the finger and I'm barking like a dog.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. What I teach, the person's totally awake. They're just in a relaxed state. Keeps the brain in basically an alpha state. They're relaxed this way. And that's why in the meditative state, or when a person relaxes and meditates, and they can say nice things to themselves. That's why it's so helpful. Because when you're in a relaxed state, the conscious or critical mind is in a much more resting state. So you can get stuff to go through to the subconscious mind, which runs the self.
I was listening to a sermon where they were saying that we don't take the time to breathe.
Yes, it's so important
at all. That there's no downtime to really breathe.
Absolutely, and the brain is think about it. All the work that it's doing to run the body, it needs a break.
Right.
So if we can do that on a regular basis in the evening and before you go to sleep, or in the morning when you first wake up, it's basically a game changer. It could change your entire life for the better.
Yeah. What do you do when you first wake up? How does that enhance you as a person? Because I know that sometimes we're just and you run and you're in the shower and you're getting ready and you're already hyped up before you even put a shoe on your foot.
I mean, I listen to gentlemen like Dr. Wayne Dyer, God rest his soul, Dr. Joe Dispenza. And what they always recommend when you first wake up, you breathe and get in a relaxed state and say some great things to yourself. You may, whatever you'd like to manifest in your life, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's love.
Those affirmations help. Yeah,
that's right.
Yes, it's like if nobody else is going to pat me on my back, I have to learn how to.
And that's how that's where the attraction training comes in. And the more kind things you say to yourself, the more kindness you attract to yourself.
Right.
Yeah, because I think that those are some of the dynamics that could lead to that success.
Yes. Absolutely.
For you, how do you guide a person to that point? Have you seen like self-loathing people that cannot come out of it?
I believe that anyone can come out of it if they desire to, and they're open and receptive to suggestions that are very helpful to them.
Yeah, I was watching even Dr. Phil. He said, create meaning from the suffering. And I think he was relating that to the brain, because he said that when there's trauma, not getting hit in the head, but trauma in your life, there are different levels. And I thought that was so interesting, because you can create meaning from that. And how do people cope, and what does that look like?
Yeah, so do you find that when you're so in this field of being a certified neuro design engineering and attraction, and that's a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
That's a mouthful.
Yes.
So when you are letting people know who you are and how they should arrive at, how do they arrive at coming to you as a certified neuro design engineering and attraction? Somewhere you'd have to tell me that you're a hypnotist, or you'd have to tell me that,
I tell them.
Okay.
I tell them
because I would be like, okay, am I going to you to have my house designed? Or
I saw that movie Get Out. I'm scared.
Yeah,
Exactly.
when you start to stir that
honestly,
tea.
You know what? Honestly, we're all hypnotized, but we don't realize it. We're so caught up. That's why I love Dr. Joe Dispenza. Mm-hmm. Our bodies and our minds are caught up in these habits, rituals that we do on a regular. You get up in the morning, you get your coffee, you check the news, WhatsApp, text some friends. And now we're ready for the day by doing all of that instead of taking a moment, breathing, saying some kind words to ourselves, doing a stretch or some kind of exercise, and then start your day that way and eat some fruits, some vegetables, and start your day that way. It's life changing.
Yeah. And I think it's true. I mean, if you look at us now, everyone has a contraption in their hand and our heads are down, and we're going to look like the cavemen looked before they lifted up their heads, because we're just hunched over looking at the phone, and we're so attached to a mechanism, and the mechanism can cause you pain or joy or love or whatever, because whatever the messages are in that phone, we're relying too heavily on that.
Absolutely.
And we're so easily steered that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you touched upon that subject of technology, because we, as human beings, have been so engaged in our technology that we've gotten to the point where we don't want to turn it off. As soon as we get home, turn the TV on, we're on our laptop, computers. We spend so much time engaged in technology, and we're so engaged on the outside, and we have a universe on the inside that we have to take care of as well.
Yes. Right. You are listening to Lion Tales on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Aurora Workman, along with Dr. Lynnda Nadien, and our guest today is Donald Parler Jr., a certified professional coach, also certified in neurodesign engineering and attraction, and a proud alum of Nassau Community College. Now, you were saying something that was very important, and I wanted to just talk about not your work on the railroad, but how you ended up at the railroad and what so many of us do when deciding as youngsters what our occupation is without finding that passion. So tell us, how'd you end up at the railroad?
I ended up at the railroad because it ran for 2 generations. My grandfather was a part of the railroad and my father. So I'm figuring I'm supposed to follow that trend of working on the railroad. And that's how I got my job. And that's how manifested the job on the railroad.
On the railroad, yeah, because of what your parents, tell you to, I'm there, I have people and I'm looking. I said, my mom had trained to be a nurse, and then she was a teacher, but I definitely didn't want to be a nurse in any way, shape, or form. So I then set out to become a teacher, and I became a teacher, but I had to, even in that, she taught young people that don't talk back and cry. Okay. So I said, I have no passion for that. Okay? To have little, elementary age, and that's why I always applaud Lynnda, because she's the elementary school principal. But we always sit there and want to really engage our parents or the steps that we've seen around us. And I think that way is one of the things that your work is important, because you will help bring out where's my identity, and I think that's an important factor that a lot of people have to know, what a coach is doing and what a coach does. So I want to also talk about you have a radio show.
I do. Yes.
Don P. the Motivator?
Yes, Don P. the Motivator on CPIR, Community Power Internet Radio, where you get the best in inspiration and motivation every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
We got to hear this.
Yes, I said I'm going to have to sit there and go on that and be able to hear and be motivated and inspired,
Yes.
from what you do. So what out of these jobs that you do, where is your love? Where does that lie?
My first love is helping people. Second love is music. So I'm doing my passion.
Yeah. Are you a musician? Do you play music or do you sing?
Actually, I'm taking some piano lessons.
Okay.
Great. Good for you. It's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late. I have a little boy, he has his guitar, and he says, "Oh, they said you can play a little bit." I said, "I don't think I can teach you." He's like, "But I'm going to bring it anyway. I said, "I'll do my best." But you learn. Adults should never turn away from playing the instruments later in life, because you've got it in you. It's got to come out now.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I used to have to play piano, but because of that time when you're a kid and, okay, it's time for your piano lesson, and you have to go inside
You're
and,
forced to do
I don't want to, those keys really hard because I really don't want to play the piano, and so that's how I end up playing the piano. But no, as soon as I didn't have to, I didn't anymore. I didn't. My brother and sister, they play now, and my daughter is going on to play. But as soon as I didn't have to, I stopped. I was like, this is not where it is for me.
Right, you were like resistant. You didn't. It wasn't your design, so you were resistant.
And I always tell people I like playing the triangle because I believe in always having my own solo.
I like that.
That's very important. Percussive instrument.
Yeah, and a lot of kids when I was in school coming up, they didn't want to touch the triangle.
Right.
But I saw it as I will have
percussion
my
is key.
own solo.
You got to have someone who can keep the beat.
That's right. So I was very happy to sit there and have to sit there. So what would you say to students now, out of everything that your journey has brought you thus far? Because we're still moving. I hope we're still moving parts when we find that job, whether we're still moving. What would you say to students for them to continue, especially those who are kind of lost right now?
I would say see a coach or talk to someone that's in the industry that they desire to be in, and because if they know the ins and outs, the ups and downs in that industry, they may say, "Oh, that's for me," "Oh, that's not for me."
Right.
And find their passions. That's the first thing I normally ask people. What's your passion? And a lot of people can't give me the answer. They don't know. So you got to take some time out to know yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
The greatest, law of them all, know thyself.
Right, exactly. And that intrinsic motivation, what is it that makes you do that? I think it's hard for people. I think they're soul searching.
Exactly. We'd like to thank our guest, Donald Parler Jr., a certified professional coach and also certified in Neuro Design Engineering and Attraction, and a proud alum of Nassau Community College. So how can our audience contact you?
They can contact me on Facebook, Don Peter Motivator on Facebook, Don Peter Motivator on Instagram, acrossthefader.org, which is the CPIR Community Power Internet Radio Station.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here.
We want to thank you for being with us. My name is Dr. Lynnda Nadien, along with my fabulous friend, Aurora Workman, president of the Nassau Community College Alumni Association. The creative director of Lion Tales is Rudy J. Breedy. This show is a production of the Nassau Community College Alumni Association. Visit nassaucommunitycollege.edu/WHPC for more information. Available as a podcast on iTunes, Android Podcasts, and Spreaker. Lion Tales is powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We'll talk to you next week.